Hello and welcome to JSB Talks Digital, the podcast for marketers, digital transformation champions, and those of you bringing your skills into the digital age. I'm Joanne Sweeney-Burke and this podcast is brought to you by Digital Training Institute. This episode of JSB Talks Digital is dedicated to Facebook, marketing hacks, case studies, why we should embrace it as marketers, and how we can maximise it for our own communication benefit. Coming up in today's show, in social media news, Facebook brings stories to pages, Facebook's discovery feed hits all user accounts, Facebook, Twitter and Google to appear before Congress in election tampering investigation. I interview Louise McDonald, Facebook marketing author, Ask JSB. In Shoutouts, Facebook marketing experts we can all learn from. In JSB's column, why Facebook dominates and why marketers need to be skilled on this platform. And find out what Facebook tool saved my working week.
Social media news.
Facebook introduced Facebook Stories to all users. The feature works similar to Snapchat, whereby users can share photos and videos mixed up with filters, frames, stickers, text overlay, and geolocation tags. Stories disappear after 24 hours. Now Facebook is rolling out stories to Facebook pages, giving brands the opportunity to connect on a deeper level with fans. Facebook began testing stories with select iOS and Android users in Ireland in January, and the social network expanded that testing to Chile, Vietnam, and Greece in March before rolling the feature out globally. Page administrators with access to the feature can go to their page's timelines via their mobile devices and click the Create Story button to get started. Just as with Facebook Stories for users pages, Facebook Stories will appear for 24 hours and they will not appear on pages' timelines or in the news feeds unless page admins choose to post them to those locations. Have you noticed the new discovery icon on your Facebook app? I've had it for many months on mobile. Now the second Facebook newsfeed is available to all users on mobile and on desktop. On the desktop, the feed is found in the left side sidebar within the Explore section, where you'll also find links to Facebook features like events, groups, pages, moments, saved items, and more. The idea behind the Explore feed is to help Facebook users discover more content across the social network, beyond posts from friends and pages that you already follow. Instead, this feed shows recommended content it thinks you might find interesting, including posts, articles, photos, and videos from sources you haven't followed yet, like Facebook pages and other posts from publishers or news organisations. Some commentators are getting quite uneasy about its full rollout, however. Some are saying that it marks the end of the free Facebook exposure for brands and a signal from Facebook that if you want to leverage the platform for business, then you need to pay to play. Representatives for Facebook, Google and Twitter will appear in front of US Congress next month to provide evidence on Russian election interference allegations. All three companies found evidence of ad tampering over the course of internal investigations this year and subsequently reported those findings to Congress. As you heard previously on this podcast, Facebook reported hundreds of pages and advertisers tied to a Russian troll farm which had purchased over 3,000 advertisements totaling over $100,000. Twitter uncovered at least 200 accounts tied to similar ones flagged by Facebook and hundreds of bots spamming propaganda. Google found thousands of dollars in ads were purchased by Russian agents, and it continues to investigate over $50,000 in questionable ad purchases from accounts that haven't been confirmed to be bad actors yet.
Interview.
In today's show, I interview Louise McDonald, an online and social media marketing expert. Louise has a particular expertise in Facebook marketing, having coached and trained in excess of 2,000 businesses since 2009. She recently launched her first book, Facebook Marketing, a guide for Irish organisations, and it's published by Liffey Press. Earlier this year, Louise was voted as one of the top worldwide 50 Facebook marketing bloggers by FeedSpot. Louise, you are very welcome to JSB Talks Digital. Thanks for coming on the show.
It's my pleasure, Joanne. It's great to chat to you.
And I think we have to declare our shared interest and the fact that we worked in a similar industry a long time ago before we both worked in digital marketing. So we both worked in the Chamber of Commerce movement many years ago.
Yes, we worked long and hard for the Chamber of Commerce. It probably was good training for us, Joanne. It didn't do us any harm.
And you know what? You're absolutely right, because understanding businesses, and in particular small businesses in an Irish context, I would say that it probably gives us the edge.
Absolutely. And in fact, when I suppose I've come to this as a trainer, and I think that I worked for 7 years as the CEO of Ballina Chamber, and absolutely you had a very real sense of, first of all, what it was like to run a business, because running the chamber was like running a business, but also the real everyday issues that small businesses face. So yeah, it was good training for us, and it certainly helped me, and it certainly comes through in all my training and in the book that I've written as well.
And you know what? We didn't have a Facebook as a marketing tool back then. But since we both started working it, in around 2007, 8 and 9, Facebook has completely changed. Back then, reach was, almost 100%. Now it's down between 1 and 6%. Jay Beer talks about the reach apocalypse, and Mary Smith suggests that Facebook is no longer an organic reach social network. In the main, it's a place where marketers and businesses need to pay to play. What's your own current experience of Facebook?
Thanks. That's actually a great question. Do you know something? It's actually something that I talk quite a lot in my training, and also, when I'm around doing different keynotes. I know Mary has put that out, and I'd hate to disagree with her, but it is still possible to get good organic reach on Facebook. I think the problem that lots of small businesses have is that they don't have a basic strategy in place. So for me, and for small businesses that follow, I suppose, the advice I give them, which would be, number one, have a goal in place, know where you're going, what you want to achieve by a certain date. Number two, create customer personas for the different customers that you're targeting, because it's all about your customer. Social media is not a place where you go to sell. It's a place where you go to connect, and it's a place where you go to nurture a relationship with a potential customer and with existing customers, so that they will continue or to buy from you or will buy from you. So once you have a persona in place, and you zone in on the conversations that they like to have with you, it becomes much easier to put content out on your page that's going to matter to them. So, it is still possible to get good organic reach. Even from my book, I show examples of, customers who regularly can achieve over 100% organic reach. So that's reaching over more people than like their page. So I don't agree with the notion that it's only possible to get about 10% organic reach. It's certainly possible to reach much higher levels if your content is good and relevant. And I know I've read what Mary has said. What she says as well is your content needs to be good and relevant. You need to consider the time of day that you're pushing out that content, the time of week you're pushing out that content, the frequency with which you're pushing out that content, so that you've got the right balance. You're not pushing out too much to put people off, and you're pushing out enough that people still want more. It's also about the way that you push out the content. So are you putting up a fantastic image, but have you got no description, so people aren't going to engage because they don't know what the image is, or they don't know why you're sharing it? There's so many factors that you need to take into consideration, and obviously Video is huge as well. That helps with organic reach. So I don't agree that it's not possible in, let's say, an Irish context or for small businesses, that if really they put out good content, they can achieve better organic reach. And the other thing that underpins that question is your ads won't be as successful if your content isn't good as well. Do you know what I mean? Because your content needs to resonate with your target audience. So even if you pay, and you pay for to push out bad content, it still won't be successful.
That's an excellent point. I think if anybody takes anything away from that interview, think about what you said about bad content and pushing bad content out to a wrong audience with money. Complete waste of time. Now,
Complete waste of time.
Facebook's been around for a long time. You know, it's, I guess, one of the oldest social networks, but it has grown up, matured and evolved. You've written a book about Facebook marketing for Irish organisations, small to medium businesses and also non-profits. Does that suggest then that there are still many, many marketers and business owners and communications professionals that still don't really get Facebook?
Absolutely, Joanne. I mean, I love Facebook. I absolutely love it as a social network. And, you know, even down to the stats, every day in Ireland, there are 2.3 million people using Facebook. So there are 3 million Facebook users, but every day 2.3 million people are logging on, and they're spending on average 20 minutes a day on Facebook. Okay, so in terms of small businesses and community groups, what an opportunity that presents to them to try and reach out to people nearby their business or people with a specific interest, you know, in a niche market or a particular market. There's actually more people using Facebook every day in Ireland than Snapchat, Twitter and Instagram put together. Okay, so when people say, oh, Facebook's dead, Facebook's gone, and people, oh, I want to move to this network or that, I would say for lots of small businesses, you know, if you've got a small business, a high street store, and you're in a town and you want to reach people within a few kilometres radius of you, well, Facebook is the social network to be on because people are on it and they're on it every day. I also give the example that, you know, people don't like to let you know that they're using Facebook as well. I call there's a lot of lurchers out there, so people will see things and, you know, look at through content, but not necessarily leave a trace that they've been there. I know about 2 weeks ago, a friend of mine asked me, would I mind putting up he had a job going in his business for 15 hours a week. So I said, I wasn't even pushing it out, let's in a work context. Just personally, I said, I'll put it up on my Facebook page in case any of my own friends are interested. And I was inundated. After about 2 or 3 hours, I had 30 people contact me through my own Facebook page, through private messaging me that I didn't know. They were friends of friends. So it just stopped me in my tracks, and I thought, there's the power of Facebook, you know, you know, it reached that amount of people so quickly. And even a few weeks later, I was looking for somebody to collect a package from me from a hotel in Sligo, which would be about 40 minutes away from me. And I put it up on Facebook, hoping that somebody would be passing. And within an hour, I had 7 people call me. So, you know, that's why I love Facebook in terms of marketing for small businesses, for community groups. You know, there's such potential to reach out people nearby. And if you've got really good content, you don't have to pay. But like that, if you have really good content and you know how to target your market, and you know how to create different audiences for Facebook ads, you can spend your money really effectively. I know in one of the examples in my book, I have a number of case studies, and one of them is a butcher. And, you know, he was delighted. I had been working with him for a while, and he put out a post, and the content, you know, he had about, I think, just under 2,000 people liking his page at the time. And the post had an organic reach of 3,000 people. And then he spent €6 reaching another 3,000 people. So for €6, he reached 6,000 people within a 20-kilometre radius of the door of his shop. That
sounds like the circulation of some small local newspapers.
And for €6, you know, so I suppose where I would see people falling down is, number one, they don't have a strategy. Okay, so you still need to go through exactly the steps I was saying earlier on. Set your goals, identify your ideal customer, come up with ideas for content, you know, learn techniques to push out that content, and then augment with Facebook ads. The other issue I see with businesses is that even businesses that are quite successful, I've had people arrive through my door for a training course and they may have 6,000 or 7,000 likes on their page, which is really good, but they don't really know what they're doing, or they don't really know why they're doing it, or they don't know how to actually translate that into business in their till, or, many people coming through the door to do business with them. So what I would say to them is that they need to think about their sales funnel. And they need to think about how they use content to bring people into the funnel, how to nurture them through the funnel, how to come up with a lead magnet to identify the 2% that are ready to buy at that any given time, how to get them over the line, and then how to turn the really satisfied customers into advocates that bring more people into your funnel. So that's kind of the next stage of training that I'm working with companies at, is to actually get them to make sure that they're actually making money from all the time that they spend on Facebook and other social media channels.
And taking them away from the boost button on the Facebook page.
Yeah, I know. Apparently, Facebook, they think if you just boost that button that you're not a very informed advertiser, and that they want you to be using Facebook Manager. So see, lots of people don't even know that a boost post. They say, "Is a boost post an ad?" I'm like, "Yeah, once you're paying for something, it's an ad." So a boost post, yes, but there are 10 other types of ads, objectives that you can select on Facebook, and when you just boost from the newsfeed on Facebook, you don't actually get the opportunity to create really, really different audiences. So they're like custom audiences and lookalike audiences. And that, if you want to have a strategy to identify the warmest prospects in your funnel, well, then you need to be remarketing. So remarketing is all about reaching out to the people that are most interested in getting your brand in front of them many times. Because remember, people don't buy from you when they hear about you once. They need to hear about you multiple times before they will actually buy from you. So Facebook audiences is so powerful. You can, for example, just to give you a few examples, so a small business with no website, okay, they could put up a native video on Facebook, and then they can remarket to the people who watched the video. So you can create an audience based on people who've watched 3 seconds of that video, 10 seconds, and we know at 10 seconds there's significant brand lift and ad recall. But you can also market to people who watch 25%, 50%, 75% of that video. So if somebody has bothered to spend 25% of their, to watch 25% of your video, the chances are they're quite interested in what you're doing, as long as the video content is relevant and good. That's just one example. You can also remarket to people who have visited your Facebook page or have interacted with your posts. Or let's say you have a list of people that actually subscribed, entered a competition at or that are customers. You can remarket to them by uploading that list to Facebook. So there's lots of opportunity for creating audiences, and for what you need to do is identify how warm that audience is, and what you do is you use your conversion ads to the warm audiences, and then you use the awareness ads to the colder audiences, and that will make your Facebook marketing more successful.
And I'm sure, by virtue of the fact that you've worked with over 2,000 businesses in all those years, that you've seen that people are just completely overwhelmed in some cases when they realise that Facebook is more than a status update or a video. And with the examples that you've just provided, you can really tailor your strategy to your own audiences and to your own business goals. So tell us about writing the book. I mean, I've written a book and I'm into my second one. It's not an easy job. What motivated you to take on such a big project?
Well, actually, just even to follow on from what you said there last, when I started training on Facebook, there's a girl who worked in the office with me, Charlene, and every time I'd come home from delivering a Facebook training, I used to say to her, I've pitched it too high, I've pitched it too high, I've pitched it too high. And it took me years to refine the training and to bring it down to a level that actually didn't overwhelm people. Just exactly the point you made. That because I suppose you have to remember, some businesses don't have any marketing background, or even people with marketing backgrounds don't necessarily, if they've never worked in marketing, they don't know how to apply it. So, when I was, throughout all my years of training, I just was, because I'm so competitive. I myself, when I get the evaluation forms, I just want them all to be 5 out of 5, or else I'm devastated. So I'm always improving my content, even though I always get 5 out of 5 mainly. But for me, I just wanted to make sure that I had the content pitched right. So anyhow, I'm always refining my courses. And then one Friday evening after training in Leitrim, I got a phone call from a man who had been speaking to somebody who had attended one of my courses. And he said to me, I was chatting to my friends. They were so impressed. They said X, Y, and Z, and I think you should write a book. Like, it was totally, I was like, is this fella pulling my leg?
So it wasn't your idea, that's what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, he put the idea in my head, and I thought, something, I'm doing this since 2009, so I probably was one of the earliest to people offering that kind of training in the country. So I thought, I'm going to write a book. So for 2 years, I procrastinated and kept pushing it down the road. And then last summer, 12 months, I saw this program in the UK, write a non-fiction book in 10 weeks. And I signed up to that. Now, I did not write the book in 10 weeks, but it gave me the structure to kind of figure out how I was going to start and, how I was going to work through and write the book. So I ended up, after the 10 weeks, having a super structure for my chapters. And you'll know, having writing a book, how important that is. And I had all my market research done. I had my chapter, all my superstructure in place. And then I would write I just kind of found time in my schedule. When the kids were swimming and I was at the side of the pool with the laptop out. When the kids were dancing, I was sitting outside, writing. So I just literally found time wherever I could. And so it took me about 10 months to write it and to get all the images and all the copyright and all that in place. So but it's great. It's absolutely fantastic to have the book here now. And one of the questions people ask me is, going to date, the book is all about strategy. There's a few chapters in that will apply to any social network. And as I say, the success of your Facebook, it doesn't really depend on whether your profile picture is round or square. You'll figure that out. But if your content is good and you know how to push it out, that's when you'll be successful.
So finally, Louise, can you give us, and I know this is a difficult question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Can you give us one Facebook prediction for 2018? Do you think there's going to be new features, or one particular element is going to overtake the other? What are you thinking ahead for 2018?
For 2018, I would be very surprised that if 2018, I would see transactions starting to take place within Facebook. So Facebook launched the Facebook shop last year. So if you're a small business and you don't have an online store, you can set up a shop and it looks like an online store. And when someone goes to purchase, you get a private message saying X and Y and Z wants to buy X and Y and Z product. I would be very surprised if we don't see them completing that transaction and enabling small businesses to set up online stores through their Facebook pages. That's one thing I definitely see. So the other thing is, I can see all the changes that are taking place, even with the templates. If you notice the new templates and the design of pages, and the way that notes have had a facelift in the last year or so. So now with the Facebook note, you have a cover image, and you can format the document with bullet points and numbered points, and you can have, it's like a blog. So I think I think slowly but surely they are moving towards small businesses deciding, actually, I don't want a website because I have enough here on Facebook. And if Google gets to the stage where they start indexing all those notes and as separate pages on Facebook, you will see a lot of businesses. I don't want to seem like I'm putting down websites, because a website is absolutely an essential part of a marketing strategy as well. But it might, for small businesses, they may not need a website as much because all the functionality will be there available to them on Facebook.
Wow, there's always that battle between the Goliaths of the internet, Google versus Facebook. Louise McDonald, thank you so much. Author and Facebook marketing expert. Tell my listeners where they can get their hands on your book.
So my book is available in all good bookstores around the country. The larger stores will just have it in. The smaller stores, you may need to order it, but you can get it on easons.com. I know it's the Essential Guide for Irish Organisations, and it's full of Irish examples, but it is equally as relevant for small business and community organisations anywhere in the world. It's just the examples tend to be Irish. The book is also available from the Book Depository and for Amazon, and it's available anywhere, basically.
Louise, congratulations. Great to catch up with you, and thank you for joining me on JSB Talks Digital.
Thank you very much, Joanne.
Shoutouts.
In this part of the show, I give shoutouts to individuals, organisations or brands that are remarkable online and worth talking about. This week, I'm recommending 3 top Facebook marketing experts from Ireland.
1.
It's really hard to keep up with Facebook updates. But fear not, Amanda Webb from Spiderworking has a weekly digital coffee video roundup of all things social. As with this podcast, it usually contains at least one Facebook update. Check out Amanda's Facebook page and subscribe to her weekly Facebook Live at facebook.com/spiderworking.
2.
For all-round Facebook marketing strategy, I recommend Louise McDonald, who you've already heard on today's show. Louise currently has a 10-week Facebook marketing bootcamp with weekly online video tutorials, one-to-one support, dealing with one aspect of Facebook marketing at a time, and guiding you through with her Facebook marketing expertise. Find out more at louisemcdonald.com.
3.
For Facebook advertising expertise, look no further than Jenny Brennan. Jenny has worked with and for Facebook marketing guru Mary Smith. If you're running your own business, she will show you how to reach your ideal customers effectively using Facebook advertising. She also works with brands and agencies. Jenny says the secret to Facebook marketing success in advertising is to use a simple system. Find out more at jennybrennan.me.
Ask JSB.
In this part of the show, I bring the voice of my listeners onto the podcast. If you have a burning social media or digital marketing question, simply click on digitaltraininginstitute.ie/askjsb and leave me a voicemail. No question is too simple or, dare I say, too difficult. I look forward to hearing from you. Today's questions are from Colm Connolly, founder of Ruck Snacks, an Irish food company producing healthy, high-protein beef snacks.
Hi Joanne, on Facebook marketing, what is the number one thing that businesses should be doing? Also, what are sort of the common mistakes that you would see businesses making commonly in Facebook marketing or advertising?
Thanks for your questions, Colm. I believe all businesses or brands should be experimenting with video. And I don't mean randomly going live from your sofa or from your car, which I see a lot. I mean considering how to use video content into your overall content marketing plan. Did you know that Facebook now receives 8 billion video views per day, representing 36% of all social video views? A massive opportunity for advertisers and marketers. Facebook has already admitted that there's not enough room in the newsfeed to share all video, and I suspect second-rate video eventually will suffer from zero reach and a restricted algorithm. So, start as you mean to go on. Produce quality video, and you can do this on your smartphone, but build it into your content calendar. Make it relevant to your key messages, and remember, story tell, don't sell. Now, to answer your second question, the most common mistake that I see businesses or marketers making on Facebook, it has to be pressing the boost button on their Facebook page. Savvy marketers with a Facebook advertising budget will know that 10% of your investment should be spent on boosting a post, but the other 90% should be spent on event tracking, audience retargeting, and building custom audiences and lead generation. To do this effectively, you do this within Business Manager.
JSB's column.
In today's column, I share my views on why Facebook dominates and why marketers need to be skilled on this platform. Recently, I got asked in a training workshop if I thought Facebook was dead. So let me clear the record. Facebook is not dead, it's not dying, and it won't be dead anytime soon. Did you know that 1 in 6 minutes online are spent on Facebook, with 1.2 billion people accessing the social network each and every day? Hell, I'm now even making calls on Facebook rather than the old-fashioned way on the phone. So think about how Facebook can help your brand or organisation. First, let me take you back to the early days of Facebook. We were sharing food photos, short text updates, and web links. That was the height of it. Although they were the good old days when reach could be as much as 100%. But honestly, I cringe when I look back at my early Facebook posts, a daily reminder with Facebook memories. It was not sophisticated marketing. But guess what? Our expectations and those of our consumers have changed since then, and they have matured. They expect so much more from us. Mobile-first consumers will no longer tolerate being sold to. Instead, they want to be entertained, educated, or informed. So ask yourself how your brand can step into those moments and be relevant on Facebook. Facebook is a revolutionary social network. It's an advertising hub and an entertainment platform. It is changing the way marketers approach marketing, and it's also redirecting marketing spends. If you want to be a savvy marketer in the digital age, then you need to get to grips with Facebook. By focusing on this one platform, you will understand how to create a variety of digital content types. You will get an astute insight into social advertising and audience segmentation. You will get to experiment with augmented reality, workplace communications, messenger bots, and be forced to rethink how you create marketing messages. Also, by using Facebook effectively, you will in essence have crafted a mobile marketing strategy for your business all on one platform. If you need an up-to-date Facebook marketing strategy for your business, then get in touch. Simply drop me an email to joanne@digitaltraining.ie.
Social media tool of the week.
The social media tool that saved my working week this week is the Facebook Pixel. Any marketer worth his or her salt will have this piece of powerful code installed on their client websites. The Facebook Pixel is an analytics tool that helps you measure the effectiveness of your advertising. You can use the Facebook Pixel to understand the actions people are taking on your website and reach audiences that you care about. There are many ways to use the Pixel to get results. You can track conversions, as the Facebook Pixel allows you to monitor how people interact with your website after viewing your Facebook ad. You can undertake remarketing, as the Pixel tracking data allows you to show targeted ads to people who have already visited your site. And you can create lookalike audiences, as Facebook can use its targeting data to help you build a lookalike audience of people who have similar likes, similar interests, and demographics who are already interacting with your website. And this will help you expand your potential customer base. In a nutshell, using a Facebook Pixel can make your ads more effective by improving the quality of the ads you run and by improving the targeting of the people who see them. Read the Digital Training Institute blog post on how to install the Facebook Pixel on your website over at digitaltraining.ie. Thank you for tuning in to episode 71 of JSB Talks Digital. I show up every week because you guys keep tuning in. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. You'll find JSB Talks Digital on iTunes, Stitcher or SoundCloud, and we're also listed on Libsyn, the podcast network. As always, I have everything discussed on today's show on our blog at digitaltraining.ie. And don't forget to send me your questions for Ask JSB. Simply click on digitaltraininginstitute.ie/Ask JSB. You can keep in touch on social as well. You'll find me on Twitter at tweetsbyJSB. You can snap me to JSB Snaps, or why not send me a message on Instagram? I'm JSB Grams. I'm Joanne Sweeney Burke. This is JSB Talks Digital. Thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you soon.
JSB Talks Digital.